welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Olu-Ojo. If you are new here, you are welcome. And if you are a returning viewer or subscriber, welcome back to my channel and welcome to all my new subscribers. So today is the episode 2 of my Pathways into Australia series, and I have another friend of mine who came in from Canada into Australia, and today he'll be sharing his migration stories, the experiences around visa applications and all that. So if you're interested, make sure to stay tuned and keep watching. Okay, so here with me is my friend Mr. Tomide. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Tomide has been in Australia for just about 2 years, 21 months thereabout, which is almost 2 years anyway. And interestingly, he didn't come into Australia from Nigeria. He came in from Canada. Interestingly, so I would like Tomide to just share with us a little bit about himself, what you do, and why you came to Australia.
Before I start, I want to thank Bisola for giving me this opportunity. I think what she's doing is really inspiring. About myself, by profession, I'm a chemical engineer by training, but into extensive risk management. So I do engineering, financial risk management. So that's kind of my space. In Australia, I've been here for about 21 months now. So I'm still like a newbie here. But so far,
Newbie. Well, okay. You say
I'm
so.
a newbie. Now the third question was, why did I move here from
Canada? Yeah.
Long and short is Canada is very cold.
I can imagine.
It's very cold. So the day I made up my mind, that was sometimes in 2017. It was minus 45 degrees.
Oh my God.
So being in Nigerian, I was
too much.
Nigeria. I was like, nah, I can't do this anymore. So for those of you that want to go to Canada, you need to consider the weather.
Think about it.
The weather.
Yeah.
It's a good place.
Yeah.
I think we'll get into that, but it's a good place. But the weather, and being that I've been in Nigeria for quite a while, like you need not to be prepare for the weather you don't expect.
Yeah, interesting facts. My husband was also considering us going to Canada, and then we actually applied for the visa, but we didn't get it. And to be honest, I didn't feel bad. I was kind of happy because I don't know how to handle cold at that kind of extreme, you know. So,
Yeah, so for me, the cold was, I think in Canada the cold varies. Some years can be okay, some years can be very brutal. Even this winter right now is very, very brutal. Over Christmas, people were locked in their house for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's
a lot to deal with. It's a lot to deal with.
And if you're a very social person, you like to go out during Christmas period. It's not like Nigeria, Christmas you are going out almost every time, but there most times you are at home. So you need to also consider.
So basically, the major reason you left Canada to Australia was the weather.
It was the weather.
Interesting.
That's like the major one, but I think we get into other ones.
Yeah. We will. So my next question would be: so when you were in Canada, what kind of visa were you on?
I was on the express entry visa. So when I applied, it was initially called the Federal Skilled Workers Program. I moved to the express entry visa, and that's an permanent residency visa.
Oh, I see. And how long were you in Canada for?
5 years, just over 5 years.
Interesting. So you dealt with the cold for 5 years, and it got to a point where you're like, I can't take this anymore. Let me just leave. Cool.
Yes, I moved here April 2020.
Yeah.
At that time, COVID was already in kind of full force, and most countries have closed down their borders. So I was able to luckily enter Australia after the borders have been shut down.
Okay, so if you would tell me and tell my audience as well, why of all countries to consider, I know that you were too cold in Canada, why did you opt for Australia?
So the first one is English speaking.
That's a major consideration.
Because a lot of people go to different countries and they want to learn different languages. And I feel that if you're advanced, if you're a bit old, or not old, sorry, if you are matured, you know, to learn another language is like a full-time job. So you need to consider that. That's one. The second to me is job opportunities. The jobs here, I think we have a lot of opportunities, especially if you have worked in different places, and I think here they're unbiased to where you come from. So I really appreciate that fact. Thirdly is my friends. I have a couple of friends here, so having people that you can easily rely on to help you settle down easily makes sense. So those 3 factors I kind of looked at I'm like, okay, yeah, let me go to Australia.
Yeah, so Tommy, I have a question I want to ask you. Considering that you've been in Canada and now you are here, if someone came up to you and asked you in terms of cost, which one is more cost effective or economical? Would you say Canada or Australia?
I would definitely say Canada.
Canada is more
cheaper.
economical. Okay.
Like by third.
Wow.
By third, it's way cheaper. So I won't lie to you. So if you want to come to Australia, just know your visa fees is going to be really pricey. And that's just visa fees and everything that you need for that. If you now layer on top the agent fee, that takes it even more. So if you can do it by yourself, it's better.
That would reduce. That would be
yeah, because as primary applicants alone, your visa fee is about $4,000. Yeah, but for Canada, it's $1,000. So that's already like times 4.
That's a lot. That's a huge difference.
Yeah, so you have to factor in your English scores, you have to factor in your police clearance, you have to factor in your medical test, you have to factor in your qualification verification. So if it's engineering Australia, if it's like US in Canada,
depending on your profession.
And even sending transcripts, you have to pay for that as well. Which is there's some standard cost, but each agencies take money, build different price points. So I encourage you to do that research upfront
and make your decision. This is not to discourage anybody and say don't come to Australia, go to Canada instead, because one might work for you, the other might not. But I just thought we should put it out there and let you be informed that when it comes to processing and cost, Canada seems more economical than your application for Australia.
And to be fair, when I first started my journey to Canada back in 2012, so that was almost a decade ago, I had both Canada and Australia.
Okay.
By the time I did both options, like Australia was so expensive.
So you chose Canada instead. But here you are
again. So never say never.
Never say never. Here you are. Interesting information that I think you guys will find beneficial. So when you began applying, how long did that take for you?
It took, overall period took about 12 months, but the processing time was 6 months, right? I extended it due to personal reasons.
So ideally it took about 6 months, but you had to extend for personal reasons. That's fine. So I know that from Canada to Australia, your visa type was the subclass 189. Which is a skilled migrant visa, and you applied as an engineer. Okay, so can you just share briefly with my audience what the application process was like, what you had to do? Just summarize for us, please.
So the first thing I did was to go to the immigration website of Australia.
Immigration website of Australia. That's the first thing you need to do.
Always,
it has all the information that you need. It does,
I'll tell your viewers, seek and you shall find.
Seek and you shall find.
Seek and you shall find.
All right, okay.
All your answers are on the website. And I also watched the video from last week. Same deal. I'm sure the next speaker will tell the same thing. Everything is online, it's accessible, we're in the information age, so I would encourage you guys to go online, search, and reach out to definitely Bisola. You have our information, and she's always really willing to help you. So let me first start on coming here, and if you want, I can also tell you about the Canadian process, but we can stick to
No, I'm Australian, so I'm sticking to Australian content. Thank you very much.
No worries. So basically what I did is I went to the website and there are 3 criteria. First of all is education. They'll tell you, okay, well, you need to at least have, they'll tell you these are different points for your education. So you see there, so I kind of picked my own subgroup. I'm like, okay, this is how many points I'll get from education. Spoke about my age. Okay, this is my age bracket, so this is how many points I will get. And then the English, like I said earlier, English I was able to say, okay, let me aim for the maximum. And we can talk about it in detail. And the last one was my profession. So the one thing about your profession, it has to be a recognized and needed skill in Australia. So there are key occupations listed.
They already have a list there, so you have to be under one of those.
Yes, and check it out. And for each occupation, the eligible visa classes you can get into. So luckily in my occupation, chemical engineering, I can get into quite a number. And I was able to get into anything. So those are the 4 things I had to do. And also like show them my work experience. How many years work experience have I had? So all those things I had all together. And luckily for me, most of the documents I use to apply for Canada, I used it.
Still the same thing.
So I didn't have to go back to Nigeria to ask somebody
Yeah.
to sign stuff for me.
Yeah.
So luckily I had everything. One thing for you people that are watching this, wherever you are, get all your information. Make sure you get your reference letters, your pay slips, all relevant information. These are the things people want to see.
Yeah.
It makes it easier. You don't want back and forth once your application
Yeah.
is processed.
Yeah.
So I encourage you guys to try to get as much documentation as you have, as you can get.
Fantastic. Thanks for sharing. So I'm just wondering, when you finally got approved and you came into Australia, did you find the settlement process difficult? How did you find integrating into the country?
Luckily, I got a job before I came into Australia. So that would be different. So it's different.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
So you got a job before coming into
Before
Australia.
coming
So that means that you were already applying for jobs
Oh, yes.
when you were in Canada.
Yes.
Do you want to touch on that briefly? Like when you applied, obviously online, did you have to do any interviews
Oh,
and
yes.
things like that?
Yes, and luckily
Yeah.
we're in that digital age where
Anything
distance
is possible
not-
from wherever you are.
Distance is not a problem.
Yeah,
So
it's
if
not
you're
a barrier.
in Nigeria listening to me right now, you can literally apply for the jobs in
Yeah.
Nigeria.
Yeah.
But what I had to do is I had to ensure that I had my visa first. So once it was approved, I had the visa. Then whenever I'm applying, I attach my visa to my application and they see that I already have the visa. And also on my letterhead, my resume, I have the visa 189 up there so they know that
They know the
these guys
kind of
are doing
visa
everything.
that you have.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So that
that's
makes it
cool.
easier for you.
That's
So yeah,
cool.
I had a job. I did 2 interviews from 2 different companies, and it was relatively like when I did the first one, I knew we both knew that
You
I
were
was
going
going
to
to
get
get
it.
the job.
Cool.
So
That's something to take home for you guys. If you happen to already be processing your visa into Australia and you're coming as a PR and permanent resident, you don't have to wait till you get here to start applying for jobs. You can just give it a go and start applying even from Nigeria, from wherever actually. And like he said, it's important to let them know the kind of visa that you have. I think that also helps you speed up the process
Yes.
to getting a job.
yes,
That's really cool.
yes.
Thank you for sharing. So I would like to track back just a little bit to the kind of permanent residency visas that we have. Are you able to talk about 189 and 190 very briefly?
189, 190, and the new 491, which was previously
Yeah.
called 489. Those are the 3 ones.
The
you
three
can
major
use.
kind of permanent
Yeah, permanent
residency.
residency visa.
Yeah.
Now for 189, I can live anywhere in the country.
Yeah.
I'm not restricted, and
Yeah.
the equivalent in Canada is express entry.
Yeah.
The 190 is state, so each state
Yeah.
can nominate you based on what they need. So for
Yeah.
example, if I don't know if Western Australia is doing it,
Yeah.
but I know some other states are doing it. I
Yeah.
don't know the specific one. So
Yeah.
you need to go online and do your research.
Actually, and that's why I said that. See, when you're asking people these questions, it's hard to expect them to know everything, and you'll be asking for too much really if you want them to know everything. There are people who are vast in knowledge. I have friends who will answer all these questions for you. But I think basically why I'm asking this is because it is already there. So you will see what you are eligible for and what is best suited to your application, and then you can decide. Yeah.
And similarly, 491 too is, I think,
Oh yeah,
it's
so there's
regional.
18 regional. So there's 189 anywhere in Australia. There's 190 where you have to be
In the
in a
States.
particular state for a period of time before you can move around. And there's 491, which is the regional one,
Yeah, regional.
right?
So that's that. I
Yeah.
think that's also based on the state as well. I believe
Yeah,
so. Again, you have to do your research. That takes you have to be away from the urban centers, so like mega cities. And what
Yeah.
they're trying to do is basically help with rural migration, because there are a lot of businesses in rural communities. They need people there, and if you can get workers, so you help those people. And instead of coming to the urban centers that are kind of getting populated, let's help people in regional places. That's the idea.
So if you were to pick between Canada and Australia, which one ticks the most boxes for you?
So for me, it's what is important to me. That's the first thing. So
Yeah.
weather,
Yeah.
access to jobs, and similar lifestyle to that will make me very happy. So when I look at that, weather, since I came
weather
here,
condition.
the skies are blue.
The skies are blue.
Blue skies.
Blue skies.
So,
yeah. I have friends in Canada who will be beefing me and saying, wow, the sky is so blue. See what you're wearing, you're enjoying. I'm like, it's not my fault.
It's not your fault.
Yeah.
So,
So
Canada, like a lot of times, I don't see my toes. For me, that's very important. You always have to wear shorts because it's cold. Now, yes, you have summer months, but summer months sometimes like 4 or 5. And I lived in Western Canada, which is Alberta. It can get very cold. So again, if you like cold weather, you can go. For me,
if you love the cold,
yeah, I don't
enjoy. I don't like the cold. I do not like the cold. I find it very hard to deal with the cold.
Yeah.
I think that's why even when we're coming here, we're considering Melbourne, and I'm like, no, just find the warmest state possible, you know. So yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
I hail all my friends in Canada. You guys are doing well.
Yeah. And yeah, maybe I'll still visit, but like I think Australia is where I like to be for now.
Yeah.
Secondly, job opportunities. In Canada, there's what we call Canadian experience.
Okay.
So basically, most times they're looking for people that work in Canada before they do jobs. I don't get the sense here.
Not exactly. I don't either.
Yeah, but if you hear, we talk to Nigerians in Canada or foreigners in Canada, job market at the time when I was there is highly competitive right now because of COVID. People are looking for jobs, so you might get a job now because
there's high demand, and there's
of jobs.
Yeah,
exactly, everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
So you might be fortunate.
Yeah.
But my time, the oil and gas price was down. I was in the oil and gas sector at that point in time. So too many people, too few jobs.
Makes it very competitive. Yeah.
And then what now happened was Canadian experience, so I didn't have to go to school, blah blah blah, and then again had to now work my way into the Canadian workforce.
Yeah.
So it took me a while. Well, not
more than you would have liked.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because I had to go back to school to upgrade myself. And
yeah.
once you have a Canadian degree, they accept that.
It opens doors for more opportunities for you. But I think that also, sorry to interrupt you, I think that also applies here though. It might not be as competitive as it is in Canada. But speaking for someone like me who did not have like substantial work experience, just having some educational background here, going to school here, and just having that, you know, in my resume, the fact that I have studied in Australia made it easier for me to get a job here.
Yeah. Also consider it, right, if you're a permanent resident in either Canada, Australia, and you're not getting good vibes from the market, well, the first question you need to ask yourself is, well, do I need to upgrade myself and understand their place there? So you might want to consider it. On the other hand, I've known people that will just go into Canada and before they even land their button job.
Yeah, I mean,
so it's there. So I'm just giving my own story.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it's a case-by-case basis. What works for you might not work for me. I have friends who came in here and within months they got good jobs just based on their work experience from Nigeria. But unlike me, I had to go back to school just to boost up my opportunities. So it just, I mean, different scenarios for different people.
Yeah.
So in terms of English tests, you would definitely have to do one if you want to relocate to Australia. So the question is, IELTS or PTE, what would you recommend?
Never do IELTS. Never.
That is so, like, you're very certain of your opinion.
Don't touch it. For me.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. I'll give my story.
Yeah.
My friend that told me about Australia told me about PTE.
Yeah.
Naturally in Nigeria we speak fast, and I still, from time to time, when I'm excited, I will speak very fast.
Yeah.
So during the PTE, I went online, did my research, and okay, it doesn't look too difficult, and I practiced. Now the first time when I did the test, I figured out that, well, the computer couldn't pick up my voice. I was talking too fast. So each word, or my words were muddled together. I needed to split them and make sure it's very distinct. And it kind of knocked me down for a while. So I then did IELTS. Tried IELTS and I wrote like a professor, but then my score wasn't up to what
you needed. Yeah.
Now there are people that are very excellent at IELTS. If you know you're very good at IELTS and you can get 8888, you go ahead. But the problem with IELTS, I'll tell you, is if you get 8887, so if you get 3 8s and 1 7, Australia looks at it as 7. Because you need to get minimum of 8 in each different categories.
Yeah. Okay.
Now what PTE does for you, it takes all the different parts of the test and then gives you a weighted average. to that way, it's not just testing you on one point. It's testing you on different data points. That's why, to me, I prefer it. Now, in terms of ability to achieve minimum of 8, or it's called minimum of 72. Yeah, 72. Oh, no, 81. It's called 81 in PTE. So the equivalent of 8 is 81 in PTE. Equivalent of 9 in IELTS is 90 in PTE. Everybody that I know that have done PTE most likely gets 90. That's the equivalent of 9 in IELTS.
Yeah.
So for me, I wouldn't want to touch it. So if
you see, I feel like people will have different opinions about this. Some
yeah.
I feel like a majority would still say PTE as opposed to IELTS, yes. But there have been people who do IELTS, yes, and end up being successful.
Yeah,
so I think the unbiased
Yeah.
is what I think is an advantage as far as PTE is concerned. Yeah.
Me, for the rest of my life, I'll never write. I'll never
For the
write.
rest of your life.
Well, I don't think I need to write IELTS except I want to go back to school.
Actually.
So because you can never send in my life.
Actually.
So,
thank you, Tommy. So that's something I intend to ask everybody that I bring onto this channel.
Yeah, I mean,
just to see. Well, we can see what you.
Yeah.
Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. What do you think is easier? What do you prefer?
Send those comments.
PTE or IELTS? Let's hear what you think.
I'm team PTE, guys. I'm telling you now. So.
Thankfully, I wasn't the primary applicant, so I didn't have to do any of this. So
soft life.
soft life. It's impossible to exhaust this conversation here. So any links I think might be helpful for you, I will always put down in my description box. But then if you have any questions that you want to ask me, please let me know in the comment section. You can send me a DM on Instagram, or my email address will also be down in the description box. And guys, if you like content like this one, make sure to subscribe, make sure to turn on your notification bell so you know every time I publish a new video. And I think I'll just wrap up here and say thank you guys for listening. I hope you have enjoyed today's episode. I hope you have been inspired and you've enjoyed listening to this conversation with my friend Tommy Day. Thank you for joining me again.
Thanks for having me.
And until the next time, guys, bye bye.